Hey everyone, and welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. We've got some breaking news today in the fintech world that you won't want to miss. It's all about OneConnect Financial Technology, ticker symbol OCFT.
Yeah, this potential privatization deal is creating a lot of buzz, and for good reason.
So OneConnect, for those who need a quick refresher, provides cloud-based financial technology solutions mainly to institutions in China. Now, their controlling shareholder, Ping An Group, a massive name in financial services, has proposed taking OneConnect private. What's fascinating is the potential windfall for investors.
Historically, these kinds of deals come with a price premium, sometimes as high as 20 to 40%.
Exactly. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We need to understand what's been happening and what this means for you. Think back to the week of February 25th. OneConnect stock price was on a tear, surging almost 28% to reach about $5.50 per share by February 28th.
And get this, on February 28th alone, it jumped over 26%. We saw a massive volume spike that day, over 1 million shares traded, which is huge compared to their usual average of 300,000 to 500,000.
Okay, so clearly something was driving that intense buying interest, likely the rumors of this privatization deal. What I'm wondering is, with the official announcement on March 3rd, how much higher did the price actually climb?
We don't have those exact figures yet, but it's safe to assume it jumped even higher. Now, while the news is exciting, we need to look beyond the headlines. What do the technical indicators tell us about OneConnect?
All right, let's dive into the charts. I know you're the expert here, so break it down for us. What signals are we seeing?
Well, OneConnect is currently trading significantly above both its 50-day and 200-day moving averages. That's a classic sign of an upward trend. But here's where things get interesting. The Relative Strength Index, or RSI, reached 79 on February 28th.
For our listeners who might not be familiar with RSI, can you explain what that number means in this context?
Absolutely. The RSI is a momentum indicator that measures the magnitude of recent price changes to evaluate overbought or oversold conditions in the price of a stock or other asset. A reading above 70 generally suggests that a stock is overbought, potentially signaling a price correction. So that 79 on February 28th is something to watch closely.
So it's not a surefire sign of a downturn, but it's a yellow flag, especially considering the potential impact of this major announcement. Now let's shift gears and look at the company's performance beyond just the stock price.
Their Q3 2024 earnings report actually offers a mixed but ultimately hopeful picture. Their net loss narrowed compared to previous periods, which is a positive sign.
That suggests they're moving in the right direction, but what's driving that improvement?
One key factor is their strategic shift away from heavy dependence on Ping An Group for revenue. They're working to diversify their income streams.
Right. I remember reading about their virtual banking business in Hong Kong. Weren't their year-over-year revenue numbers really impressive?
Absolutely. They saw 31.1% growth year over year in that segment in Q4 2023, indicating that their overseas expansion efforts are gaining traction. But it's important to note that while some areas are flourishing, their revenue from other services, particularly those related to the auto ecosystem, took a hit in Q4 2023. So diversification beyond their core banking solutions will be key to their long-term success.
So it's a bit of a balancing act, finding that sweet spot between capitalizing on existing strengths and exploring new avenues for growth. Now, while this privatization deal is a major development, let's zoom out and see how OneConnect fits within the larger fintech landscape. It's an industry that's constantly evolving, right? What are some of the biggest trends we're seeing right now?
One trend that's absolutely dominating the conversation is the integration of artificial intelligence. And this is where OneConnect is really making waves. They've been investing heavily in AI-driven solutions, particularly their AI agent platform.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Tell me more about this AI agent platform and what makes it stand out.
This platform is all about using AI to streamline banking operations and make the customer experience smoother. These are areas where AI can truly revolutionize the industry. Think personalized financial advice, fraud detection, and even automating tasks that used to require human intervention.
So is it fair to say that OneConnect is positioning themselves to be a leader in the digital transformation of the financial industry?
Absolutely. They're not just riding the wave, they're actively shaping it. And that's a key takeaway for anyone considering investing in OneConnect.
This all sounds incredibly promising, but I'm sure there are risks involved as well. What are some of the potential downsides that investors should be aware of?
Well, one major concern is the regulatory landscape in China. It can be unpredictable, which creates a lot of uncertainty for companies operating in that space. This could potentially hinder OneConnect's domestic growth.
That's a valid point. So regulatory headwinds are something to watch carefully. Are there any other risks that stand out to you?
Another one is the fierce competition within the fintech industry. Giants like Ant Group have a lot of resources and could easily outpace OneConnect if they're not careful. And then there's the challenge of execution. Developing and rolling out a sophisticated AI platform is no easy feat. The success of their strategy hinges on flawless implementation, which is never guaranteed.
It seems like a classic high-risk, high-reward scenario with so much potential but also significant challenges. What's your take on the investment opportunity here? Should investors buy, sell, or hold?
Right now, I'd recommend holding. It's wise to wait for more clarity on the privatization offer. Knowing the exact premium being offered and the deal's timeline is crucial before making any decisions.
So patience is key here. But what are some things investors should be watching for in the meantime?
Keep a close eye on the RSI. If it drops below 70, it might signal a buying opportunity. Also, watch the trading volume for continued strong interest. That's a sign of sustained momentum.
All right, so we're in wait-and-see mode for now. Lots of potential, but we need more information before jumping in headfirst. Now, before we move on, I want to leave our listeners with a question to consider. What other factors, besides those we've discussed, might influence OneConnect's future, and how could those impact its valuation?
That's a great question. The fintech landscape is constantly shifting. There are so many variables at play, from global economic conditions to breakthroughs in technology. It's a dynamic space to watch, and staying informed is crucial for any investor.
Absolutely. So listeners, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on OneConnect and the future of fintech? Share your insights in the comments, and let's continue this conversation.
Don't forget to subscribe to Investing Talk podcast and share this episode with your fellow investors.
Until next time, happy investing.
Think about the rise of decentralized finance, or DeFi, and the growing adoption of blockchain technology.
That's a great point. DeFi and blockchain are really shaking things up in traditional finance. Could OneConnect find a role in that space?
Absolutely. They could partner with DeFi platforms, develop blockchain-based solutions, or even explore opportunities in the metaverse. The possibilities are vast.
It's incredible how quickly things are changing. For investors, staying ahead of the curve is crucial.
Couldn't agree more. That's why it's so important to do your research, analyze both the opportunities and the risks, and make informed decisions.
Now let's bring it back to OneConnect's relationship with Ping An Group. They've played a pretty significant role in the company's journey so far, haven't they?
They have. Ping An Group, being a major player in financial services, has provided OneConnect with a strong foundation and access to a vast network of potential clients.
And their proposed privatization of OneConnect adds another layer to this story.
It does. On the one hand, going private could shield OneConnect from the volatility of the public markets and allow them to focus on long-term growth without the pressure of quarterly earnings reports.
That sounds like it could be a positive for the company.
It could be. But we also need to consider the potential downsides. Going private often reduces transparency. How can investors properly assess OneConnect's performance if they are no longer required to disclose financial information?
That's a really important point. Transparency is essential for informed decision-making.
Exactly. And then there's the issue of potential conflicts of interest. With Ping An Group being both the controlling shareholder and a major client of OneConnect, some decisions could be made that might benefit Ping An Group more than OneConnect's minority shareholders.
So investors need to carefully weigh the potential implications of this privatization deal. It's not as simple as it might seem at first glance.
Exactly. It's crucial to look at all sides of the story.
Well, it seems like we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored OneConnect's recent performance, the potential impact of the privatization deal, and the broader industry trends shaping the fintech landscape.
We even touched on the exciting world of DeFi and blockchain.
It's been a fascinating conversation. But before we wrap things up, I want to emphasize the importance of doing your own research. Don't just take our word for it.
Absolutely. Read up on OneConnect, analyze their financials, track their progress, and make your own informed investment decisions.
Investing always comes with risks, and it's crucial to understand those risks before making any decisions. Remember to diversify your portfolio and only invest what you can afford to lose.
Those are wise words.
And with that, let's wrap up this episode of Investing Talk Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We hope you found this deep dive into OneConnect financial technology insightful and engaging.
It's a company with a lot of potential operating in a rapidly evolving industry.
As always, we encourage you to stay informed, to do your own research, and make investment decisions that align with your financial goals and risk tolerance.
Remember, the world of investing is full of opportunities, but it's essential to approach it with a cautious yet optimistic mindset.
Well said. What are your thoughts on OneConnect and the future of fintech?
Leave us a comment below and let's continue this conversation.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to Investing Talk Podcast and share it with your friends, family, and fellow investors.
Thanks for joining us on this investing journey. Until next time, happy investing. It's been a roller coaster of a week for OneConnect Financial Technology, and we've covered a lot of ground today. From their surging stock price to the potential privatization deal and the broader trends shaping the fintech landscape, there's a lot to digest.
We've really tried to equip you with the knowledge you need to make informed decisions about your investments.
Exactly. And as we wrap up this episode of Investing Talk Podcast, we want to leave you with a few key takeaways.
First, remember that OneConnect operates in a dynamic and rapidly evolving industry. The fintech landscape is constantly changing, so staying informed is essential.
Second, the proposed privatization deal could present both opportunities and risks for investors. It's crucial to weigh the potential benefits against the potential drawbacks before making any decisions.
And finally, always do your own research. Don't rely solely on what you hear from us or any other single source. Read up on OneConnect, analyze their financials, and stay updated on industry trends.
Your investment decisions should align with your financial goals and risk tolerance. We're here to provide insights and analysis, but ultimately the best decisions are the ones you make for yourself.
We encourage you to share your thoughts on OneConnect and the future of fintech in the comments below. We love hearing from our listeners.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to Investing Talk Podcast and share it with your friends, family, and fellow investors. Help us spread the word about the show and keep the conversation going.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, happy investing.
Happy investing.